Hello everyone, it's me Fatima Huda Bedi from English House, and in this video we're going to talk about body noises and sounds. So the first one is snoring. Now snoring is a sound that you involuntarily make when you're sleeping. So probably, it sounds like krr, krr, that sort of noise that comes up. And you can't really do anything about it, and it's quite annoying for the person next to you. So that is snoring, the sound that you make while you're sleeping, okay? And then the second one is yawning. So yawning is when you're, slipping into slumber, when you're super tired and all that. When you're sleepy as such, then you tend to yawn. So how do you yawn? You yawn by opening your mouth wide, and then, you do the, that is called yawning, okay? And then we have the third one. So this is sniffing. So sniffing is, say if you're going to a perfume store and then you're buying your perfume, so then what do? They'll just, spray a few sprays on top of a piece of paper, and then they'll ask you to sniff it. So sniffing is the action you do when you're smelling something. So you have something on your hand, you can sniff it in order to smell it. So the action is that sound that comes up, that is called sniffing. Even dogs tend to sniff from what I know. So let's just move on to the fourth one, which is panting. Now panting is, say, maybe if you have done a heavy exercise, whole cardio exercise and all that, or if you're chasing a bus or so, and when you're super tired after all that chasing, then you tend to pant. So when you're out of breath, that's called panting. That action is called panting. And then we have hiccup. So hiccup, again, I don't really know the reason behind hiccup, but it's just a temporary stuff, it just lasts for a few minutes probably, and it's not anything serious, and it's like the sound that you make, that sort of a sound that comes up, that is called hiccup. Now again with hiccup, I've heard people say you have to drink water when you have hiccup. I've heard people say it's because somebody is getting reminded of you. Who knows? That's a myth. It can be true. Who knows? So this is what is hiccup. This is that sound that you make is called hiccup. Even that is involuntarily. You can't really do anything about it. And then we have burp. Now burp is once you've ate something and then your stomach is full. And then if there's a lot of air that is trapped inside, then that is the point of time when you actually burp. So the air that you have swallowed along with your food tends to come out of your through your mouth, and that is called burp. So the sound that you make after eating, that is called burping. And then we have the seventh one, which is growling. So growling is again, when you're super hungry and you haven't ate anything at all, and then you're super hungry. If that is the case, then your stomach tends to do all the disco that it does usually. It twists and twirls and all that, and then it creates a sound like krrr, that sort of a sound, and that is called growling. So if your stomach is making sounds, then that is called growling. You can't do anything about that. It happens, and people will be able to hear that only if you're sitting in a pin drop silence area. If that is the case, then people will be able to hear it, but otherwise it's not that audible. And then we have the last one, which is slurping. Slurping is literally the sound that Indian dads make when they're sipping on coffee and tea and all that. So it sounds like that. When you're sipping on something that's hot, you make that sound that sound is called slurping. So if you look at Asian countries, it's not taken as a bad habit, because it's quite usual, it's quite normal for you to slurp while you're having your hot cup of ramyeon and all that, like the noodles that they have. So it's okay, but generally taken, it's not a great habit to have, slurping on tea and coffee and all that. So that's it for this video. I really hope you understood what I was trying to convey, and that's it. Thank you.